Hello, everyone, and welcome to another inventRight.com TV show. Stephen being a joker as always, and as always not telling me what the topic is. Stephen, what's the topic for this show?
Andrew, this topic, I think, is probably the most important thing I could possibly tell anybody. Everybody...
Whoa.
Did I get everybody's attention?
I want to know. I've been doing this 14 years with you, man. I want to know what this one is.
Well, it's not about... I've talked about this before, but I have to keep on pounding this into everybody. You don't own anything.
Oh, what do you mean?
You don't own a thing. I don't care how many patents you have. I don't care what you've done. You don't own anything. There you go. I said it.
That's the most important thing?
Yeah, because once you understand that, you're going to move further and faster to bring your ideas to market.
You let go. Well, I don't know. I think it might make some people fearful. If I don't own anything, they're just going to take my idea from me. Right?
Well, that's not true.
It's not, is it?
No. And I'm going to tell you the first step of protection. The very first thing you can do is try to, number one, we talk about it all the time, do a Google image search.
Yeah.
Do a prior art search to understand the landscape. What has been done before you? What are people doing now? Define your uniqueness.
Yeah.
That's the first step. Second step.
Yep.
Once you find your uniqueness, try to steal the idea from yourself. Simple. Now, steal an idea from yourself. Because when your product lands on someone's desk,
yeah,
and they look at it, you do not want to give them the opportunity to work around your idea. Because I don't think companies steal ideas. I don't think they do that. I think what they do is they look at it, and if that inventor hasn't done a good job, or he's unreasonable, they might find a workaround. So what I tell everybody, and I do for myself, I take my idea, I come up with the best possible, possible product or best possible
product mix, feature mix.
Yeah, just the best. But I find variations of how someone would work around me, how someone might do it differently. It might be not the best way of doing it, but I want to stop the other guys. I want to put up a wall of saying, look, I've thought about it enough to where I have perceived ownership. Perceived ownership, because that provisional patent application that you're going to file, once you do your Google image search, once you do your prior art search, you're going to understand your uniqueness. But then again, I want you to turn it upside down. I want you to find other variations and put it in that provisional patent application.
Yeah, I always say that 70% of writing a good provisional is just thinking about those workarounds and variations, 70% of it. And that is something that you guys already know. It's just being an inventor, basically, right?
Now,
and so when people think that writing a provisional is overwhelming, I always explain that.
And you know what's amazing, Andrew? And I've given this my opinion to patent attorneys now, and they're always saying to me, "You are 100% right here." Because here's the other part.
They don't say that often.
No, but they understand, because I also mentioned that you have to be the expert. And you have to do that work, because your patent attorney will never do that for you.
Well, they won't, and a lot of them don't even mention that you should be doing it, which is the reason why a lot of patents that you're going to come across are weak to junk. Because the inventor didn't do it, the attorney didn't do it, you have this fancy-looking thing called a patent, and it's like Swiss cheese, it's just full of holes.
It doesn't have the real value, Andrew. So, because two things. I think a potential licensee or a company that's going to take your idea, maybe they go forward with it and they pay for it, maybe they don't. But you give them that option. And so by giving them that option to go forward with it, has to be included all these variations and a lot of drawings. Here's one big tip, you guys. If you're ever going to do this and do it well, always put a lot of drawings. A drawing is worth, of your idea, a variation is worth 1,000 words. You might miss something in the description, but if your drawing shows it, you're okay.
Yeah. Nice.
You guys, that's a golden tip, and I believe that. My PPAs have so many drawings. Gene Quinn mentioned that to me the other day on an interview. He recommends that highly as well. So you're doing your homework to be the expert. So I tell everybody, steal it from yourself. It's as simple. If you want to protect your idea, steal it from yourself and see how many variations. Because imagine an engineer gets your idea, and they look at it and goes, "Oh, its intellectual property is not very strong, and the guy's not being very reasonable. He's asking for too much money up front. That crazy inventor, you know." And so they might have a reason to work around it, Andrew. I give them no reason to work around it at all. Great attitude.
I think when you're doing and saying all the right things via email, via phone, and they see you creating a paper trail, they don't want to mess with you. And so for that 1 or 2% of companies, I believe it's that small, Stephen, in most industries, that can consider knocking you off, they won't when they see you're doing everything right.
No,
now they might knock off that wacky inventor they talked to a year ago that is aggravating them. But they're not going to knock you off if you do it right. And I think that's the reason why one of our students hasn't been knocked off yet.
In 15 years, and I think you're right,
Andrew.
If you know the language, you're respectful, you present them with a good perceived ownership with the PPA, you have the right attitude of being understanding, not top-loading deals, you're an asset, right? But if you don't understand that process and you demand, I want $100,000, and I want this, and I want that, and you're that crazy image that they have seen before, they run from that. And that might give them a reason to work around you too. It doesn't happen, not with our students, but I could tell where sometimes it's happened before. They're not being reasonable and they don't understand it. But by all means, steal it from yourself.
Nice. Great tips, Steve. All right, everybody, if you like the show, give us a thumbs up down there and subscribe to the channel. We'll catch up with you in the next InventRight.com TV show. See ya. Keep inventing.